Welcome back, Focus Learners, to another explainer. Today, we're standing right at the edge of a massive paradigm shift in how we actually view the ultimate purpose of learning. Think about it. We're entering this wild era where information is literally everywhere, technology is accelerating at lightning speed, and AI is fundamentally reshaping both how we work and who we are. But with all this rapid advancement, our traditional understanding of education, it's completely breaking down. So, in this explainer, we're going to explore a truly revolutionary concept: Psychotech education. We'll unpack exactly why our current system is failing us so badly and how combining ancient wisdom with modern technology can actually lead us to the ultimate goal of learning. And, spoiler alert, it's not a diploma. It's true self-mastery.
It's a pretty profound question, isn't it? Just look around at the world right now. We have unprecedented access to knowledge. You can literally learn quantum physics or advanced microeconomics from a tiny piece of glass in your pocket. Yet, despite having all this incredible access, millions of people remain emotionally unstable, totally distracted, anxious, and just deeply disconnected from any real sense of purpose. We really have to acknowledge this bizarre modern paradox. We are without a doubt the most formally educated generation in all of human history, but we're also somehow the most lost. So why is that happening? Well, it's because modern education has basically trained us to pass exams, not to master ourselves.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the massive glaring gap between what we learn in school and what we actually need to thrive in the real world. Modern society is absolutely incredible at teaching hard skills. We're talking math, science, coding, commerce. But look at what society completely ignores: emotional intelligence, self-discipline, relationship wisdom, discovering your purpose, and spiritual awareness. You can hold 3 advanced degrees and still completely lack emotional stability or inner clarity. It's wild. We've built an entire education system that treats the human brain like a hard drive you just fill up with data, while completely neglecting the inner software, the actual psychological and emotional skills we need to govern ourselves.
Section 1. Redefining true education. Moving beyond degrees.
To fix this modern paradox, we have to completely redefine what we even mean by learning. We've got to move past this outdated industrial age idea that education is just about collecting fancy degrees or securing a 9-to-5 job. True education, in its absolute highest form, is the active transformation of human consciousness. It's like a giant puzzle where all these different perspectives fit together. Psychologically, education is the process of rewiring our deep-seated beliefs and habits. From a neuroscience standpoint, it's literally the physical strengthening of neural pathways through repetition and emotion. Neuroplasticity proves our brains are constantly evolving based on what we experience. Then, looking at leadership, it's all about developing solid judgment and character. Spiritually, especially if we look back at the ancient Indian Gurukul tradition, education is an awakening. It's gaining mastery over the mind and the ego. And strategically, it's pure adaptation, the agility to unlearn and relearn on the fly. So across the board, education is an active evolution of your identity, not just someone talking at you to transfer static information.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 2. The 4 stages of transformation. Understanding that education is an evolution of your identity is one thing, but how do we actually make that happen? Well, the journey of true education has to follow these 4 sequential stages: learning, application, experience, and finally self-mastery. If you stop at stage 1, which, let's be honest, is where our current global education system stops, you remain completely incomplete. We absolutely must bridge that massive gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it. So let's break down exactly how each of these stages works to transform you.
We kick things off with stage 1, learning. Now, learning naturally begins with awareness. But here's the trap, and it's a big one. Information alone is entirely powerless unless it actively changes your thinking and your behavior. Knowledge without application just creates an intellectual illusion. You might feel like you're growing because you're constantly consuming information, but the psychology of mastery is pretty clear. Reading about discipline is not the same as being disciplined. Watching a motivational explainer is definitely not execution. Listening to a leadership podcast on your commute doesn't magically make you a leader. Real learning only actually starts the exact moment that knowledge enters your daily behavior.
Which brings us seamlessly to stage 2, captured absolutely perfectly by this quote: "Execution is the real education. Application is what transforms flat theory into true, tangible capability." Most people don't fail because they don't know enough. They fail because they don't consistently apply what they already know. The world rewards execution, not just good intentions. And here's the truly beautiful part about application. Failure itself becomes your most vital teacher.
Neuroscience reveals that our learning drastically deepens when we hit a wall, encounter a challenge, and are forced to make adaptive corrections. Every single mistake you make when you're actually applying knowledge creates a brilliant feedback loop for profound personal growth.
So once you're applying knowledge consistently, you naturally enter stage 3, experience. This is the magic moment where knowledge finally converts into wisdom. Life itself becomes your ultimate university. Pain teaches you resilience. Adversity teaches adaptation. Failure teaches humility. Real-world experience activates your emotional intelligence in a way that gives you a depth of empathy and courage that someone who just studied theories in a book will literally never have. But there's a big catch here. Experience only turns into wisdom if it's paired with deep reflection. Without self-observation and taking the time to introspect, your experiences are just random events happening to you. But with reflection, they become highly transformational lessons.
So, the crucial point is that stage 4, self-mastery, is the absolute highest outcome of education. It is the ultimate ability to consciously govern your own emotions, your focus, your energy, and your habits. Hitting this ultimate level requires emotional control, crystal clear mental clarity, strategic thinking, conscious discipline, purpose-driven action, and genuine spiritual alignment. Because think about it, a person who can't even master themselves certainly cannot sustainably lead anyone else. History proves over and over again that external success without this inner mastery just leads to burnout, massive ego trips, corruption, or just a really deep sense of emptiness. The future entirely belongs to self-regulated humans.
All right, Section 3, the past versus the future of learning.
Now that we've mapped out the personal stages, let's shift gears and look at the systemic level. The old industrial age system was literally designed to pump out obedient workers for standardized systems. It heavily prioritized rote memory over creativity, rigid conformity over consciousness, and compliance over character. It essentially created highly skilled machines that lacked any holistic integration. But looking ahead, we have the future, the Psychotech Ecosystem. This totally flips the script by prioritizing identity-based education. Its whole goal is to develop conscious leaders, foster wild creativity, and teach students how to actually handle uncertainty while discovering their true purpose. The core problem with modern society isn't a lack of information, right? It's a lack of integration. And the Psychotech ecosystem integrates our psychological, emotional, technological, and ethical development all into one cohesive whole.
What's truly fascinating, though, is that to build this cutting-edge future ecosystem, we actually have to look backward. Ancient Indian civilization deeply understood that education was fundamentally about inner evolution. The teachings of Chanakya emphasize sharp, strategic intelligence paired with ethics. The Gurukul tradition, the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, they all focused heavily on self-realization, dharma, and gaining absolute mastery over the mind, desires, and ego, rather than just rotely transferring facts. Modern AI and neuroscience are really just now rediscovering and scientifically validating what these ancient traditions knew all along, that absolutely all true human transformation begins from within.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the psychotech ecosystem actually plays out in practice. It doesn't reject modern technology at all. It fully integrates ancient wisdom with cutting-edge tech to create a beautifully unified human transformation model. Just imagine an educational ecosystem where AI mentors perfectly personalize your learning pathways, where emotional analytics gently track your behavioral patterns to help you spot blind spots and grow, where neuroscience-based systems actually train and improve your focus, and leadership simulations test your decision-making in real time under pressure. All of this, perfectly balanced with spiritual intelligence modules that help develop your inner peace. This ecosystem isn't going to produce obedient, clock-punching employees. It's going to produce conscious, self-driven achievers and fiercely ethical innovators.
Which brings us to our final chapter. Section 4, Becoming Self-Led Humans.
So what does it actually mean to thrive in a world that is changing this rapidly? We're speeding into an era where AI is automating almost all routine knowledge work. The exact things we used to spend hours testing for in schools are now being done instantly and often better by machines. So in the coming decades, deeply human capabilities, things like raw creativity, emotional intelligence, complex ethical judgment, strategic thinking, hyper-adaptability, and conscious decision-making, these are going to become the most valuable assets on the planet. These are the traits that simply cannot be automated away by an algorithm. This means that self-mastery is no longer just some nice, fluffy spiritual concept. It is literally going to be your ultimate competitive advantage in the future economy. Tomorrow's true leaders won't just be managing spreadsheets or systems. They're going to have to master mindsets, navigate complex emotions, and unlock true human potential.
So we absolutely must move beyond the traditional classroom. We have to look past the outdated textbooks and the shiny degrees. The highest, truest purpose of education isn't merely earning a living. It is about mastering the self, waking up your consciousness, and becoming the absolute highest possible version of your existence. Let this quote really sink in for a second. Education is not preparation for life. Education is the transformation of life through self-mastery.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. The future of learning is entirely identity-based, not information-based. So the most important question you can possibly ask yourself today is not, what degree do I hold? Or what random facts have I memorized? The only question that truly, deeply matters on your transformational journey is this: who are you becoming? Think about that as you go about your day. Keep applying what you learn, keep reflecting on your experiences, and keep striving to master yourself.